Hello, welcome to a new episode of Trains At and the first for 2026, where you'll be joining me at Castleton on the Calder Valley line, where today you'll be seeing services by Northern and maybe a couple of freight trains. I do say regular trains are, it's actually going to be a rush hour. We're going to pass on the fact that it's just after 2 o'clock, as given that. So what I'll do is I'll run it until about 5:30, maybe even 6 o'clock. And we'll see what we get. So, with that all being said and done, let's see what... Shouldn't have said that. As the first train of the day will be a Class 195 for Northern, running from Leeds... Not Leeds. I'm already making mistakes and we're 49 seconds into the video. A Northern 195 from Manchester Victoria to Leeds via Bradford Interchange. Proud to be Northern 195116. So with that all being said and done, let's see what shall turn up. So the next train to be coming through will be a single Class 150 running from Headbolt Lane to Blackburn via Todmorden. It says. See, there is a speed restriction around the corner. Not too sure why, but there just is. We'll see how fun that is for the biomass and the other freight train later. Okay, you told that us already. Alright. Taking a decent chunk of time to come round. To be fair, it took about... I think it was about a minute for the 195 to come round from the first announcement, so... Yeah, I think I just need to bear that in mind, to be honest. Here it is. Manchester. There we go. Sorry about that. Works by 150, 125. Is she gonna say stand back? Oh, I'm gonna go for another 30 seconds. Right. I'm gonna pause it on the off chance she doesn't say stand back, because there is another train due and I want to get its information. So yeah, be back in a sec. So now coming round the corner will be a Class 156 for Northern running from Blackburn to Headbolt Lane. Or shall I say Kirby Headbolt Lane, if people start whinging. Works by 156, 421. Surely good. So the next train to be coming through will be a pairing of Class 195s running from Leeds to Manchester Victoria. With 195017 on the front and 003 on the rear. So the first of 2 trains to show up will be first a Class 150 for Northern, working a service from Blackburn to Rochdale, and behind me in a minute will be the 1524 Northern service from Rochdale to Clitheroe via Bolton. So working the 1525 is 150-131. And then there, oh my god, is a class 156 working the Clitheroe service. So now getting ready to depart is 150-131 with the 1525 Northern service to Rochdale. And there goes, I'll zoom in, 156414 with the 1524 service to Clitheroe. I'll zoom out and delete that. There we go. So the next train to be coming through will be a pairing of class 195s running from Chester to Leeds. 195s are 19, I think it was on front, and 004. Let's do a cheeky real-time trains cheat. It is past, I don't know what's sudden there. Yeah, 019 004. And there we go. Running from Chester to Leeds. So the next train to be coming through will be a class 158 running from Leeds to Wigan Wallgate. Works by 58 853. So the next train to be coming through will be a class 158 running from Wigan Wallgate to Leeds via Brighouse. Works by 158 753. Jeez, that needs a bit of a scrub. Does smell kind of nice though. That's to admit, but needs a bit of a scrub. Jolly good. So the next train to be coming in will be the stopper, which I'm confused about, to say the least. 150-131. Yeah, I thought the next train that was going to come through was the Leeds to Chester, but I'm going to have to check where that is, because if this is left in front of it, it must be held at Halifax. So yeah, I'll find out where it is and, you know, give you all that ramble in a minute. So there goes 150-131 with her service down to Blackburn via Bolton. The 195, weirdly, is sat in Rochdale now. So what should have happened is the 195s to Chester should have left in front of it, but because it's 10 minutes late, they've decided to let the stopper go. That just makes no fucking flipping sense. I never said a swear word. I'm surprised I made it to the first video of 2026 and said a swear word. Or nearly. I've gone nearly a year and a half without saying one on the channel. Yeah, we're just going to leave that one in. Yeah. Right. Let's see what the next train to come through will be. So the next train to be coming in will be another Class 150 running from Clitheroe to Rochdale. Now, it is very cold. To be fair, we've had to stop Goretti within the past week, so I'm not surprised. The 195 should be coming through in a minute, and then everything should be running as per the norm. This is what happens when it gets to rush hour. So this is Works by 15123. I've just remembered I'm stood right next to the stopping board. So yeah, lovely stuff. So now getting ready to depart is 15123 with the 1550 something northern service to Rochdale. Let me just finger my glasses up. There we go. Nice word from the driver there, thank you very much. Right, what time are we on now? I'm holding this real weirdly, but... So it's 15:59. I know, sorry for the dodgy camera work. It's approaching. So yeah, there it is. So now coming through is a Class 195 for Northern, or Pyron, I can't remember now, running from Leeds to Chester via Warrington Bank Quay. Nice to see from the driver there. Going through very sluggishly is one from 95109. Pride of Cumbria with 2 flat wheels in there. There is a plate up there. Yeah, 2 flat wheels in there. And yeah. So that is to say. So now coming through is a GBRF Class 66 running from Liverpool Biomass Terminal to the Drax one. I think it's Drax Airs, but you know, I'm just going to say the Drax one from now on. God, these headlights are glaring. $66,743. It did have a special livery, but you know, I didn't catch it. It was too muddy on there. Jolly good. Stinks of wood that every time it comes past. Sorry for the shaky camera look. It is Baltic. It is absolutely freezing. I do apologise. So the first train to show up out of the next two will be a pairing of sprinters running from Blackburn's Headbolt Lane. 151, 35 and 134 going from Blackburn's Headbolt Lane via Walkden, and then coming around the corner now will be another pairing of Class 195s, yeah, running from Manchester Victoria to Leeds via Halifax. Should get around the corner, find out this is a yellow and speed off to Rochdale. Within the speed limits, obviously. So the reason why this is running so sluggish is because of the biomass. And in theory behind this should be the Headbolt Lane to Blackburn via Todmorden. Say that this is the cons of, not the cons, the pros of actual doing rush hour here. Is stuff gets stacked behind one another. You get like 5 trains at once. So, leading this now is 195003. And 195017, taking it easy on the rear. Don't know why I went into a bit of a jazz mode, but yeah, it's only Wednesday night. And it's cold. I should stop moaning about the cold. I should stop moaning about the cold and get on with more train spotting. So, guess what? We've got another 2 trains coming. Yippee! The enthusiasm then. So the first, if it comes around the corner. Right. Which one? Right, this one. So the next train to be coming through will be a pairing of Class 195s running from Leeds to Manchester Victoria. Now suit on from the driver there. .014 and 011 were the 195 pairing to Manchester Victoria, and there is 15138 with a northern service from Headbolt Lane to Blackburn via Todmorden. How was that for a double whammy? It's like the stoppers, but going through. So the next train to be coming in will be the 1624 northern service to Rochdale. Not Rochdale, Burke, Clitheroe. Looks about 150, 123. And also coming in is the 1626 northern service to Rochdale, which is also works by a Class 150. This has come from Blackburn, if I did say Clitheroe. And this is works by 150, 108. Do that. Lovely stuff. So now getting ready to depart is the 1626 northern service to Rochdale. Jolly good. So the final train of the day will be a Class 195 running from Chester to Leeds via Halifax. Works by a rather full 19521, and as she goes up to Leeds and comes back down to Manchester Victoria, I will leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that jazz. I have only been here about an hour and a half and I pretty much caught everything. There is a freight train in about half an hour, but because it is freezing, I want to go and warm up. and yeah, and all that jazz. My next video is actually not Door and Totley. I told a fib last year on the last video 2025. It is going to be like kind of like answering your question sort of thing. So like anything that you might want to know sort of thing. So yeah, and then I'll start on the Midland Main Line. So yeah, with that all being said and done, from me here at Castleton, I will see you all later. Take care, guys. Goodbye.